Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks. With a Spain news update, we'll have a look at some of the main stories that have caught my attention in the press, and we'll also take a look at some comments that have been left on videos recently. Before I begin, a big thanks to all of the people that have supported the channel in recent times, whether it's by buying me a coffee, through the super thanks option on YouTube, longer term supporters on Patreon, and my new channel members here on YouTube. Thank you very much for the support. Now, before I begin, you might have realized that I'm not in my usual place recording this video today. I'm on the road, so I'm sitting in a hotel room in the south of Spain, hence the background. Now, let's get straight into the news, and the Canary Islands government has said enough is enough and are planning to crack down on short-term rentals with the help of local police. As we can read here, Spain's Canary Islands plan tighter short-term rental rules with police backup. Soon after, Maria Rosa Sanchez reported her neighbour for renting her building's rooftop in Tenerife as a campsite on Airbnb, police officers carried out an early morning raid and local authorities opened an investigation. The closure of the campsite, which offered tents for €12 a night, is a foretaste of the new hard line towards illegal short lets on Spain's Canary Islands, where listings on platforms like Airbnb and Booking.com have soared. A draft law expected to pass this year, toughening the rules on short lets, follows complaints from locals priced out of the housing market and from hotels facing taxes and sustainability rules skirted by companies investing in short-term rentals. So there we go, the Canary Islands government announcing that they are going to crack down on short-term rentals. But again, I ask the question, is it too late? Because this type of accommodation has proliferated in places like the Canary Islands over the last 5 years or so. And now, faced with a backlash from locals who can't afford accommodation down there, they decide to react. Now, the second piece of news related to Spain's water woes and the serious drought conditions in some part of the country, mainly Catalonia and Malaga, but this story coming from Catalonia, and it is that Catalonia limits water consumption for tourists due to the drought. The Generalitat limits water consumption by tourists as a measure against the drought. The government, presided over by Pere Aragonés, has today approved the decree that modifies the special drought plan with this measure, in addition to others that affect swimming pools, private desalination plants, and the sanctioning regime for non-compliance with the current restrictions. After several weeks of debate, the Catalan government has for the first time set consumption thresholds per person for tourist accommodation establishments. Municipalities that have been in breach of the maximum water use allocations for 3 consecutive months will be obliged to apply this restriction to tourism. So there we go, the Catalan government getting serious when it comes to water usage and water restrictions for tourists in that part of Spain. And as we know, Catalonia is a very, very popular tourist destination, especially big cities like Barcelona. So we'll see how this one plays out, but drought in that part of Spain having an enormous impact on many, many sectors of the economy. And the final piece of news we'll look at today, in a strange story about a kidnapping in the province of Malaga. And 2 people have been arrested for kidnapping a Swedish tourist in Malaga and demanding a ransom of €500,000 in cryptocurrencies. 2 people have been arrested for kidnapping a Swedish tourist who arrived almost a month ago at Malaga airport. They kept him hidden in shackles and with a device in his shoe to keep track of him. The ordeal for the Swede lasted 23 days. The criminals demanded a ransom of €500,000 in cryptocurrencies. The police investigation began following a complaint from the victim's relatives. They report that, after 5 days of negotiations, a payment arrangement was established between one of the victim's relatives and the criminal organization with the aim of freeing the kidnapped person, the National Police explained in a statement. The person kidnapped for 23 days was traveling to Spain from Turkey. He was not alone. He came with a friend to get to know the country. However, the plans were cut short when he arrived at Malaga airport, where he was picked up by a third person who had allegedly been sent by his friend to pick him up and take him to the hotel where he was staying. So, as I said, a strange story story, but also a worrying story about a tourist down there in Malaga who was held captive for 23 days and a ransom of 500,000 euros in cryptocurrency on his head. So what the heck is going on down there in Malaga with these criminal gangs? That's what I'd like to know. Now let's have a look at some comments that have been left on the channel recently. One here from Debbie. Can I ask, is it just the British English that Spain no longer wants? I see apart from Balearics, Canaries, now Sevilla, are full. Are other nationalities and their money welcome? Is this a vendetta against the UK, who have been encouraged to visit and have spent millions over the years? Yeah, Debbie, thanks for the comment, but the first thing I'm going to say to you is stop reading the British tabloid press. It has poisoned your mind, causing you to think that you are no longer welcome here in Spain because you're British. And it is not the case, because tourists here in Spain are welcome no matter where they come from. It doesn't matter if you're from the UK, another European country, the States, South America, Australia, Asia. Everybody is welcome. Yes, there are some anti-tourist groups in the country, people that are sick of mass tourism, but they are not targeting solely people from the UK. So stop reading that British tabloid press before it's too late. That would be my advice. One here from Baycast. Hi Stu, I've lived on the Costa Blanca for 24 years and I've never had any abuse from the natives. The secret is to learn the language and integrate, do charity work and get involved with the locals. Best wishes and thanks for another great show. Yeah, Baycast, thanks for the comment, and there's some good pieces of advice there. Primarily, learn the language. I can't stress enough just how important it is to learn the language here in Spain if you are going to live here. But unfortunately, too many people don't set language learning as a priority, and that can lead to issues. Like, for example, permanent communication issues with the locals, because people here in Spain don't always speak English, and if they do, it might not be a very good level. So if you're planning to live here in Spain, take my advice, take Baycast's advice, and learn the language. One here from Michael. Living here in Torrevieja, I have not heard of any abuse towards British, and my bar is Spanish local, and staff and regulars and very nice folks I've known for years. Yeah, Michael, thanks for the comment, and there we go. Another person saying that there is no anti-British campaign where they live on the Costa Blanca. We saw the other day a comment from somebody saying that he was ready to pack up and go back to the UK because he is getting abused. Don't know what type of abuse it is, whether it's physical or verbal abuse, but he says he's fed up. But from what I can gather, this person is in the minority. And as I said the other day, I have never been the victim of any type of abuse because of where I come from. One here from Steve-O. The Chinese building manufacturing plant inside the EU means they will avoid import duties on their products. This is a substantial loss of import duties income into the EU and national coffers. It may also damage the income and jobs of EU producers, and the EU are subsidising them to the tune of 300 million euros for the pleasure of this loss of income and jobs. But once again, short-term political gain wins over long-term industrial planning. Yes, Steve-O, thanks for the comment, and this is in relation to an article that we saw the other day about how Chinese companies are setting up big time their operations in the European Union, in Spain also, and the European Union is giving them money to do it. As we also saw in that article the other day, the European Union has a plan to try to regulate the amount of products coming into the European Union and try to protect European industry. So the Chinese, no doubt, looking at ways to get around that European regulation and deciding to invest directly inside the European Union. And as Steve-O points out, it could create problems. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. One here from Robert. The EU gave China 300 million euros to set up in Spain to make batteries for cars that don't work and are not economically friendly, and we celebrate? Yeah, Robert, thanks for the comment, and I notice you're a little bit skeptical when it comes to Chinese investment in the European Union, especially electric cars and batteries. In your words, cars that don't work and are economically unfriendly. But it's the type of car that the European Union wants, so the Chinese are just going where the money is. One here from Ian. Malaga is slowly becoming a nearly year-round destination. Not really January, though even then there's 10 hours of light a day, but those winter let discounts are going or gone. The Centro has really been taken over with Airbnbs. I think they should be limited to 40% of a barrio, the minority basically. Much is made of the move to quality 5-star tourists, but I don't see most locals getting any of that additional revenue. Tourism has low-paid jobs generally, yet their rents have soared even in the west of the city, which is traditionally more Spanish locals. Yeah, Ian, thanks for the comment, and obviously referring to something that was mentioned the other day about year-round tourism here in Spain, and we said that the Canary Islands is the only real place where the tourism industry works 12 months of the year, but you pointing out there that maybe Malaga is working 12 months of the year now too. Maybe not the full 12 months, because January can be a bad month as far as tourism is concerned, but 11 months of the year. And let's be honest, the weather down there in Malaga is great most of the year too, right? I remember going to Malaga one New Year's Eve, and on New Year's Day we were sitting outside with t-shirts on enjoying a cold beer. And to the other point that you make in your comment, the amount of Airbnbs down there in Malaga nowadays, maybe something has to be done about that too, because it's also one of the biggest complaints from locals. There's no decent accommodation left for them. One here from Shiny, scrapping of the golden visa will only affect those coming in. Existing golden visa holders will be grandfathered in, so they'll be fine. Yeah, Shiny, thanks for the comment. As we saw last week, the government planning to scrap that golden visa. They haven't announced exactly when it's going to be scrapped, but people on the golden visa are nervous and not really sure of their future in Spain. But as you point out in your comment, most likely they'll be fine. And the final comment here from Rakshakumari, wonderful channel, thanks for your service. Where are you from? Got my curiosity tickled as you sound totally British, and I'll definitely buy you a cafe when I return if I know where you are by then. Yeah, Rakshak, thanks for the comment, and I will definitely take you up on that coffee offer. However, I'm not British, I'm from Australia. So you got that wrong. On that note, I'm going to wrap the video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Debate the video out as you normally do. If you have anything to add to the conversation today, the comment section is the place for you. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. See you in the next one. Hasta luego from my hotel room.